Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good morning everyone. Okay, thank you for joining class today. So I'm sorry I have to record this session because I've got some commitment today. Okay, so this is class GSS412. Okay, Introduction to Photogrammetry. So I'm Nizam, so I will in charge on this class until the end of this semester, inshallah. Okay, so ice breaking. So I think not this session. So when we meet face to face, then I will do the ice breaking with you. So just to know whatever name and your name and origin, where do you live, and then currently whether you work as a part time or not, and then why you apply this program. Okay, for the entry and exit. Okay, please make sure I know you are semester 1 student. So please make sure you log in your U future. You log in UFuture, and then you go to your course at GSS412, and then you go to menu EES, Entrance Exit Survey. Okay, you need to answer a few questions. It's about 3 to 4 questions. Your answer is quite simple, and then please do before the end of this class session today. So please do this Entrance Exit Survey. Okay, course information. So this is GSS412, Introduction to Photogrammetry, or in Malay for pengenalan photogrammetry. This is offered in bachelor degree. It's about student learning time. It's about 120 hours, so which equivalent to 3 credit hours. So we'll meet face to face about 53 hours, non face to face about 6 hours, and then student preparation. You digest everything whatever you learn in the lecture. You digest in lecture, and you will digest about 61 hours. So duration about 17 weeks, including the semester break. Okay, course learning outcome. First one is to describe the overall understanding of the concept of the basic photogrammetry in mapping application as adopted by the land surveyor. And then second, to perform the basic handling photogrammetric equipment and software adopted by land surveyor. Okay, and then discuss the product, the photogrammetry, okay, the technique for mapping and purposes as adopted by land surveyor. Okay, so for CLO, course learning outcome, this is what we call CLO. That means at the end of this course, after you finish this semester, you should be able to describe the overall understanding on the concept of the basic aerial photography. Okay, so we will develop your knowledge skills. So about C2, knowledge skill. And then number 2, okay, at the end of this semester, and then you should be able to at least perform the basic handling on the photogrammetric instrument. Okay, so we will develop on your psychomotor skill. Okay, this is through our lab session. Okay, you have the lab session, and then you will have chance to handle some photogrammetric instruments. And then CLO number 3, at the end of this semester, and you should be able to discuss the product photogrammetry. So this is true. We will emphasize on these skills based on the assignment that I will give you during the lecture. Alright. Okay, syllabus content, and we have a few syllabus here and a few topics here. So topic number 1 is about introduction to photogrammetry. You will cover on the introduction to photogrammetry survey, and what's the metric camera, and what's the type of aerial photo, the basic properties and geometry of the aerial photos, and then central perspective and orthographic projection. And then second topic is about stereoscopic visions, introduction to stereoscopy, stereoscope and stereoscopic viewing, and stereomodel formation, parallel Y determination, and the parallax. And then third topic is about image measurement and refinement. We'll cover on the scale, how to calculate the scale, and then how to calculate the relief displacement, and what are the relief displacement, how it's work, and how to calculate. And then concept of parallax and parallax bar heighting, and we will study. We will learn in the lab session, and then measurement of parallax, high determination using the parallax difference. 4, this is stereoscopic plotting instrument and classification of stereophoto and analytical and digital stereophoto. 5th, photogrammetric orientation. We will cover all the interior, exterior, or interior, relative and absolute orientation in the photogrammetric session. Okay, teaching methodology, and we will cover on the 2 parts. First is lecture. You will meet me every week, inshallah, 2 hours every week, and then you will also have the lab session, 2 hours each week, per week. Okay, and then the assessment is very important part, so please make sure you memorize or you jot down this one. Okay, in order for you to score the carry mark, we call it the carry mark, we have the 50%, and then the final examination, we also have the 50%. Okay, okay, for the continuous carry mark, we have the presentation, oral test, and written report. Okay, presentation, that means you have to present whatever assignment I give you is about 10%. And then oral test, okay, we will conduct during the lab session. Okay, so the lecturer will ask you, and during the lab session, whatever related with the photogrammetric instruments or equipment. And then written test, of course, every semester, this semester we have at least 2 tests, and test 1 and test 2, and then we sum up about 10%. And then written report, again, so you need, of course, you have the lab session, and then you need to write a report at the end of this semester. So we'll cover all the reports, okay? And then you also have the final assessment. The final assessment, the question asks about 100%, and then the weightage about 50%. Okay, so this one at the end of the semester, you need to assess, you need to sit the final examination, and then you need to answer the question, and then we will look, okay, your marks. Okay, this is a recommendation text. If anyone would like to what we call the study more on the photogrammetry, this is the very good book for you to purchase. Okay, Elements of Photogrammetry with its application in GIS. This is about two years ago, 4th edition. So maybe right now we have the 5th or 6th edition. Then you can purchase online or at any publisher. Okay, that sell this book. Okay, for the references, there are a lot of references. Right now we have the website and we have the online. Then you can search anything. This is the list that reflects whatever related with the photogrammetry. So you just can Google anything in the website right now. Okay, so these are the what we call the mapping CLO and PLO. Okay, so we have 3 CLO. So that means CLO number 1 and course outcome number 1 will cover on the knowledge. We will improve your knowledge on the photogrammetry. And then CLO number 2 we will improve on your practical skill via the lab sessions. Okay, and then CLO number 3 we will cover on the communication skills. Okay, via your presentations. That's why we have the assessment presentations. Okay, this is how we develop your domain. So in the photogrammetry, we'll cover on the knowledge. We will improve your knowledge, we will improve on your practical skill, and then we will improve on your communication skill. Okay, and then this one, what are the level of the cognitive, of the psychomotor, and the affective. Okay, for the CLO number 1, it's about knowledge, so we will assess on your cognitive level. So we target you achieve cognitive level number 2. And then for the psychomotor, CLO number 2, okay, psychomotor, we expect you to achieve psychomotor level 3. Okay, so how you handle the photogrammetry instrument. And then for CLO number 3 is effective. Okay, we expect you to achieve effective level 3. Sorry, effective level 2. Okay, that means how you communicate, how you deliver your presentation. So we will try to improve your communication skill up to effective number 2. Okay, so this is the assessment that related with the CLO. Okay, CLO number 1, you will have the test. This is assessment, how we evaluate you. Okay, so in order to make sure, to know how what are the level that the knowledge of the knowledge that you have. So we will conduct the test, at least 2 tests, and then we have 1 final examination. And then the CLO number 2, okay, about how to perform the handling the instrument. Okay, this is based on the written report and the lab report, and then the oral test. We will ask during the lab session how you handle the instrument. And then CLO number 3 is about presentations. Okay, so in order to assess your communication skill, and then we will conduct the presentations. Alright. Okay, so of course every assessment that we conduct, we have the rubric. These are the rubric. Then you can refer this rubric. Okay, first, if on the presentation, we look on the 4 aspect here. We have the creativity, we have the content structure, the structure understanding, the commitment. So the creativity, and we have the presentation and add the extra value, and then fair presentation and add the extra value. 2 to 3 lah. Okay, so kalau if 1, very poor presentation and no added value. So for the content structure, same thing. So for the content structure, you have the well structured and very informative, and then 2 to 3 structured informative, and then 1 not structured and less informative. Understanding is you able to explain whatever question raised by me, for example, and then 2 to 3 able to explain when question 4 to 5 very detailed, but 2 to 3 in basic, and then 1 unable to explain. And then for the commitment, very committed to explore the further. Okay, so when we look on your slide and when we ask you, and then we know you have improved your knowledge through your reading. So you will get 4 to 5, and then committed to explore further, just committed, not very. So 2 to 3, and then 1 less committed. Okay, for the written report, same things. We will assess based on the 4 aspects here. Okay, first the effort, and then analytical and technical skills, then the understanding of the project undertaken and related discipline, and then commitment. Okay, on the effort, so 4 to 5 very committed, and then 1 is less committed. And then for the analytical and technical, able to explain in detail, and this is written report. Okay, so we'll look on your whatever you write in your report, and for the lab session, okay, whatever you report in your lab report, and we will assess how you explain the whatever related with your lab session. So 1 unable to explain, and you just copy and paste without any explanation. And then understanding the project, so able to explain in detail, unable to explain for 1. And then commitment, you submit on time. Of course, the commitment is about the time when you submit. When we give the due date, so did you submit within the due date and within the time frame that given to you. Okay, if not, then we give you 1 mark, very late submission. And then for the oral test, we have 2 here, 2 aspects. We will check, we will assess you on the oral test in your understanding and your skill. Understanding, we will ask some question during lab session, and then you need to explain, and then how familiar and how you perform the photogrammetric instrument, and we will look on your skills. So understanding whether you solve the task given or have idea but do not know how to solve. And then skill, familiar, expert with handling, operating hardware and software, or need guidance in order to perform. Okay, that's all. Okay, thank you very much. Inshallah, I will see you next week. So for right now, please go through all any material that available in future. I have uploaded everything, all the slides, all the material there. Then you can read in advance, and then you may ask the question during my next lecture session. Okay, with that, so please make sure you use this time and to study on the photogrammetry until the end of this class. Okay, with that, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Have a good day. Thank you.